Um, all right. So while we're waiting on some folks to jump in, I am going to show you guys whether you want to see it or not. I'm going to show you guys a couple of new cool features that we built into VPM. So first thing is when you have a job that you're hiring, you can select multiple cards now, and you can move them to different stages. So we have what's called a bulk move, and we also have built templates. So you can now bulk email or bulk message all of your candidates. So something that people have been asking for, and in the past, you had to like go to each person and go into messages and literally create a message. Now you have templates. You can create your own templates. You create company templates. And then we have this new features tab here. So if you want to see all the new stuff that's been coming out or that's came out, you can select it here. And then the last thing is when you're looking for assistance, we have this new feature called hiring for attitude, and it is basically our traits. It's called, and it's basically our idea, our way of trying to help find your core values of your company. So there's a bunch of different attitudes here. They take a assessment, much like a disc assessment. They find out what your top three attitudes are, and then you can literally search based on those attitudes. So, all right, I'm going to stop sharing. So, let's go ahead and we're 4 minutes in. Let's go ahead and get this bad boy started. So, I want to introduce you guys to Matt Spear. Matt is co-founder or founder, Matt?
Founder, co-founder, all the same.
Co-founder of propertymanagement.com. You've got probably the number one URL that we're all looking for, propertymanagement.com. And Matt has a very unique, um, I would say, business model. And I'm really excited when he told me about it. I think it's very unique, and I think it's really something that the industry needs. And Matt, I'm going to let you go ahead and take over from here.
Perfect. Perfect. All right. Let me just go ahead and get my screen set up. Again, I'm a Google Meet guy here, so give me just a moment. All right. Yeah, so really excited to jump in and share a bit about propertymanagement.com, what we're up to. Uh, if you're listening to this, watching this, you may have had, used propertymanagement.com in the past. Maybe you had a listing on the old site. We are the new reimagined propertymanagement.com. And so we've got a bigger vision, I think, for the domain and the business. And really at a high level, what we're trying to be is we're trying to be the Carfax of property management. I've yet to find a better analogy, but I think Carfax really does it in terms of just being the trust layer in an industry that's built on trust and credibility. And so if you think about the industry, I think that, you know, a lot of companies, it's like you get sort of a bad rap in property management. And so I think a big reason for that is an owner and investor, when they're looking for a property manager, there really isn't a way for them to objectively know, is this a good property manager or not? And that's really what we're trying to solve with propertymanagement.com and being that trust layer. And so our slogan is, credibility is the new currency. And we'll talk a little bit more about this, with AI search and some things that are happening in the industry and how we play into that. But I think that credibility really is the foundation of any property manager in terms of their growth, their retention, and we're really trying to help level up the industry in a lot of ways. So let's go ahead and jump in here.
Yeah, Matt, I think this is brilliant because, like, right now, the only thing that differentiates a property manager from another property manager is basically having that NARPM logo. But that just means I'm a NARPM member. It really doesn't. There really is nothing behind that to tell me how I'm different.
Yeah, we know what NARPM is, but I think the reality is most homeowners, investors, they don't know what NARPM is, right?
Correct, but also
Um,
anybody could become a member, and there's no
yeah,
factorial behind it that says this is how good of a property manager you are or giving you any kind of credibility.
that's right. Yeah, and I think so. Like when you think about this slide, so anytime a homeowner investor is talking to a property manager, that property manager they're talking to is the best property manager that ever existed. They've got low days on market. They drive ROI, probably a family business, been around for 40 years. They're the best. And the reality is some people hear that property manager's pitch and they trust them, they sign up. But I think a lot of them, most people probably do some research. And I think when they do that research right now, they're going to see, sources like Reddit, Better Business Bureau, Yelp, Google reviews, and that's going to help them make a decision. Some of them, I think now you might throw it into ChatGPT. You're going to see some similar responses there. But really that info is there to help them make a decision and choose a property manager. Maybe it's you, maybe it's your competition. But I think that the big problem here, the underlying problem is that these sources are broken. If you think about our reputation as property managers being controlled by Reddit, that's kind of a scary world that we live in right now. Better Business Bureau, Yelp, Google reviews, really they're just pay to play services. And they're not really telling the complete picture about who we are as property managers. And so just show this in action a little bit, make it a little bit more interactive. I went ahead and threw in a search here. I just picked a big market like Houston. So I just threw in who is the best property manager in Houston, Texas. And so just to show you what I mean, when you do this search, first thing you see, AI overview. So let me zoom in here. Can you guys see, are you guys seeing the screen? Are you looking at the presentation? Or are you guys seeing the?
Yep, we're seeing this. We're seeing the screen.
Perfect. All right. So zoom in here a little bit. So you got the AI overview. You've also got AI mode over here. Sidebar, AI mode is going to be the future of Google search. It's going to be this ChatGPT-like experience. And so that's just something to also consider. But right now they're kind of blending this in with AI overview. But you're going to see Reddit. Scroll down a bit. You get the business profiles. We got a customer here in Shannon Property Management. And then this is just crazy, right? The first 3 links you have are Reddit, Facebook, and Reddit again. So who's the best property manager? Houston, Texas. That narrative is being controlled by these third-party sources, right? So if a tenant decides to sit around with his buddies drinking beer and like start a Reddit thread and slam you as a property manager, that can drive up and down your lead flow. And I'm talking to, I don't know if people are seeing this right now, but the property managers I'm talking to are saying that they're seeing like a 20 to 30% dip in lead flow this past like 6 months or so. And I think a lot of that is because people are able to get their questions answered easily, with these AI overviews. I think people are calling it like 0-click searches. The information gatherers are able to get their information quickly, so they don't click through to your website, they don't land on your lead form, and they don't get into your sales queue. And so that has a really big effect on us as property managers. You keep scrolling down, it's more of the same though. Mine's top 10 list. Shannon's doing some things right here, getting their link up here on the top 10. We've got propertymanagement.com, Yelp, apartments.com, even iProperty Management. And so I think the big takeaway here is that our reputation, whether we like it or not, right now is controlled by these third-party sources. And so propertymanagement.com, we're aware that we're one of these sources. If you go into, let's see here. I think I'm going to only be able to use this tab. I wanted to pull up ChatGPT, but that's okay. If we pulled up a ChatGPT search for the same thing, you're going to see some similar output, but it's clearly going to be a bit different of a game. But the cool thing was ChatGPT and Perplexity, these other tools, even AI, Grok's AI tool, they show you the sources of the citations that drive the response. And so if you aren't on those sources, you won't show up in the results. And so that's just something to consider in terms of kind of the new world we live in terms of this like AI search era. And so at propertymanagement.com, how we're solving this is we're basically taking this big domain, propertymanagement.com, like the keyword of the industry. We're just naturally in that mix to be that third-party validation type site, like Yelp, expertise.com, Better Business Bureau. Large language models, Google really value our domain because of its history and its authority. Like it is the keyword of the industry. If you take on top of that our true match score. So with true match, this is how we're being the trust layer in the industry. We're ranking property managers based on 4 key categories: cost, performance, trust, and experience. And they're provided a true match score. Whether you're a 50-door company or a 5,000-door company, it's the same system. It's the same ranking system. You can't pay to have a higher score. It's based on objective objective performance data. And then what we're doing is we're putting your profile on our big domain. And then we want the large language models to go to our site and pick up that information and index it so that it shows up in ChatGPT searches, it shows up in Google searches. 2 years ago, if we had a site like propertymanagement.com, we would actually build it so it can't be scraped. We wouldn't want our competition or others to be able to go grab our info. We live in a world now where we want that info to be picked up so that we get that visibility. And so our true match score plus that domain, we feel really elevates the industry and allows, us to have now this, trust layer, this place that an investor can go, hey, who is the best property manager in a market, and be really confident with that output. Any questions, Pete, and anybody have anything?
So
I can
far, no
keep
question.
rolling if not.
Keep rolling right now. Yep. So how do you? I have a question. So how do you go out and get that information that you're asking for a property manager? Is it a super long process? Is it tedious? Like, can property managers get that information to you guys rather quickly? What does that look like as far as gathering that info?
Yeah, so we have everyone's going to have a true match score with our update. So here in a couple of weeks, you'll see on our site, we're going to have around 10,000 property managers. Everyone will have a true match score. And so how to basically claim your profile, you fill out an onboarding form. That's the first step. This onboarding form takes about 10 to 15 minutes. And that basically takes all of our publicly available info that we have that we're kind of gathering to determine your score. And then you're providing that feedback, and we sort of like plug the two in together. And now we have like higher confidence, higher trust that like, hey, this is a property management company with 600 doors managing in these areas, these asset classes. Like, we have the info we need to be able to know how to position you as a company. From there, so you're 15 minutes in at that point. Mm-hmm. And so then to sort of complete the loop, we provide owner surveys as an option to supplement your score. And so we provide you a survey. We actually give you the email copy. You can send it out to your client. You can send it out to all of them. You can send it out to different cohorts of clients if you want. We just need 3% of your owners to complete the survey for us to include those survey responses in your true match score. And then also what comes with that is really, really powerful KPI feedback. Like, you're going to know what you're good at, and you're going to know where you have areas you can improve. For our clients, you're a client of ours, right? Your company profile on propertymanagement.com really becomes your like Carfax report. That's like your prove it moment where you're on a sales call. Maybe you're talking with an existing client. You're able to pull your company profile up and say, hey, we're the best. We can prove it. And we want to surface those things that you're good at on your company profile. That's a lot, but that's basically the system there. Pretty seamless. I've been a property manager my whole career, real estate investor, property manager, went from 0 to 500 doors. Like, I know what that process is like. I know how chaotic it can be running a property management business. So if you're thinking this sounds like a mortgage application or something that's going to take a bunch of your time, it's not. We've made it really, really seamless and easy to get on the platform. And then you can see here, this is sort of the too good to be true slide. If you guys have been looking at the free option here, but I can go through that unless anybody has any questions there.
So you can, like, when you get a score, you can actually move that score based on like, oh, I'm not really doing well in maintenance. I can fix maintenance and then resubmit some data, and I can actually get my what do you call it? True score?
True match.
I get my true match increased. So it's not like a one time, that's it. That's all you get. You can actually move the needle.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And as the needle moves, that info again in the background is getting picked up by ChatGPT and Google and all those things that you care about in terms of your lead flow. But yeah, you have complete control of your score. Full transparency on the things that you're strong, areas that you're weak, and we update those scores. And as you get more survey responses, like, it can only increase your score. So it's like you get like this flywheel effect of not only are you getting really valuable feedback and administered by us, so it's really low lift for you. You're getting this really valuable onboarding or the valuable operational feedback. We're actually able to translate that to higher score. A higher score means higher visibility, which means more leads and more clients, more surveys, more survey. It really spins that flywheel in a really productive way. Because I think when I talk to property managers, there are two things they care about the most. I want more doors. And if you really break them down, they might have a churn problem. So like retention's a challenge.
Yep.
And if we feel that our product, our platform solves both problems, but it does it in a really, I think it does it in the right way where credibility and reputation is the foundation. And we sort of build off of that credibility and reputation so that you can use your score to attract more leads. You can use your score to close more deals. You can use your score, your true match score, to have higher retention. If we wanted to make this like super easy, like the clearest path for us to make a bunch of money is to be all property management without the all. Because we've got the bigger domain, we could generate leads and we could just, sling leads very transactional. I don't feel like that's what the industry needs. I think the industry actually needs something that's going to be more sustainable, built on credibility. But I get on my soapbox when I get on that topic, so I'll rein it back and talk through the free option here. So
Go for it.
what do you get for free? So you get a verified profile, you get a true match score, and so we don't block anything. Like we don't keep you from being able to max out your score. So you're able to administer the surveys as well. If you're in a free account and 50 doors, you have the same ability to have a perfect true match score as a 2,000 door company with unlimited budget that's paying us if they're in the paid tier. And so I think that if we didn't structure it this way, we'd just be perceived as another pay to play model, just like Yelp and Better Business Bureau and those others. So this truly sets it, it kind of raises the industry up. It allows everyone to be able to get this true match score and reap the benefits of our big domain and the visibility that comes with it. And so the visibility that you get is, AI search placement, the SEO effects, that all comes inherent to having the profile on our site. And then with complementary leads, if someone searches who's the best property manager, Houston, Texas, and they land on, top property managers, Houston, on our site, see your profile come through in our lead, we're not charging for that lead. We'll never charge for leads. That lead is yours, something you earned with that high true match score. We are a business. We do make money. But that free tier is always going to be free. And this paid tier, you get some just additional benefits. The first being the survey data and those reports. The way it works in the free tier was we're basically taking those responses and automatically, programmatically deciding how that influences the score and what's displayed on your profile. If you want access to the reports data and it be more of kind of an operational kind of consulting piece, that's going to come in this paid tier. We're going to provide that detailed kind of customized info for you based on those responses.
Give a couple of examples of what a report would look like.
Yeah. So, we're surveying owners, asking them about all aspects of your business, including their remote team member mix. We're asking them questions about, maintenance costs, overall satisfaction, every tier, leasing speed, all the things that matter to an owner. And you're going to be able to see, similar to an NPS style, structure, you're going to see in specific core categories where you're proficient and where you're average, where you're weak. Obviously our goal is to help, surface the things that you're good at on your profile. But I would imagine most owners, most property managers are going to want to go take the lowest hanging fruit of the things that their clients are saying they're weak at and improve it. And by improving it, you're going to hopefully retain those clients that you have, but also it's going to drive your score up.
So you'll be able to see how you compare to other PM firms throughout the U.S. in your geographical area as well, or how does that get broken down?
Yeah, let me show you. Let me show you sort of an example here. Let's go to. So we're about to. What you see right now on our site is going to be. We're having a huge brand update, big update to the site here in the next week or two. So look out for that. But with the current version of the site, let's just go to McCall Property Management, a company in Dallas, their profile. And so this is the MVP current version of the company profile. Imagine with this profile, you could surface more of those survey responses, some of that data, and you could use that on a sales call. You could use that, if you're talking to an existing client to, talk through whether they're satisfied or want to renew or whatever that might be. showing you kind of a sneak peek here. This is just used for kind of a prototyping. It's not like what you're going to expect to see on the the exact site. But imagine if in the future the enhanced profile on propertymanagement.com is really what surfaces the survey data and kind of the things that you would want on your profile. So this is sort of like the view you just saw live on our site for McCall. Imagine if you could then dig deeper into, hey, client satisfaction. We are 4.6 in communication. The industry benchmark is a 4.1. Let's look at the national average is a 78 true match score. We're a 92. Maintenance quality, response time, like all those key categories, you'd be able to like surface that data, manipulate that data in a way to surface again the things you're good at, and use that in those conversations to convert more sales calls. And so our vision long term is to continue to innovate on this company profile to where you could even get down to the specific property level. And so I think you do that with really a rent estimate, right? People are like, hey, there's a subject property. What would that property rent for? Imagine being able to like continue to go deeper there and say, hey, the estimate for this property is 2,267 based on some rent finder or rentometer or rentcast, whatever rent tool you're using. And you'd actually be able to say, hey, we manage 23 properties within 3 miles. We're the expert. This is why you should choose us. We're a 92 true match. So it's going to allow you to surface this data and use it and kind of have that ammo to be able to attract more leads and close more leads.
How do I know the data is credible? Like, because who's put like you're getting survey from the property management company, correct?
Yeah. So the first survey is like more operational, like how many doors do you manage? They can provide their kind of the under the hood data, like their specific rent roll, where we can look at addresses, the no coverage area, and you can validate those things. That piece is optional, right? If more sensitive kind of data security, it does help us provide more confidence to the end user. But when you get down to the owner survey data, I mean, this is we have checks and measures in place to make sure that all survey responses are owners, they are active clients. We make it really, really difficult for that process to be gamed so that the end output is going to be really trusted, accurate data. And honestly, if you're on the platform and you're taking these steps, there's no other thing like this. This is like a completely, this like credibility, reputation category. It's completely new. There is no other competition. And so I think, being on the platform and being able to surface this info, your competition is pulling their Google reviews up. But we know that like the average homeowner investor, that they don't put a lot of weight to Better Business Bureau, Yelp. Like it's the only thing that's available. And so you'll be kind of playing chess while everyone else is playing checkers in terms of the info and data that's going to be available to you.
Got a question from Nicole here. We're an association management company. Is this or something similar being rolled out for this sector?
So we're focused right now, very locked in on the residential long-term property managers. What we'll look at next will be, HOA, it'll be multifamily. Like we will move into those industries with the same model. But that'll be down the road.
You're going to prove the model with single family and then basically just copy and paste.
Yep. That's exactly right.
Got it. And a comment from Sherry. She said, bloody awesome, helps us smaller folks excel. I agree, Sherry. This is definitely a equalizer product.
Yeah. And I think too, like we're $3,500 annually. The question, like, to me, like, I guess what I want to say is like, this isn't a nice, I don't think this is, I'm biased. So everyone knows that, but like, I don't think this is a nice to have product. I think it's a must have. If our number 1 and 2 things that we care about as property managers is growth and retention, and then you just bake down, okay, how many leads do you get a month right now? If you could take your close rate and just increase it by 5%, how many more doors do you close this year? If you're churning 10% of your portfolio over the course of a year, how many more doors do you save if that's 7%? Obviously, we'll know more data. We'll have actuals and case studies as things progress, but I don't know of another platform that's out there that drives both lead flow conversion rate on leads, also helps with retention. And I think that the ROI, it's going to be a must-have. I think must-have product for any property manager. And
Yeah,
if
I heard something just recently, and basically it's like how Google, like ChatGPT, is what Google was to the Yellow Pages, right? So 40 years ago, everybody had to get in the Yellow Pages, and we had to do like AAA painting, right? Like if
yep,
anybody is quadruple A painting was if you're familiar with Cheers, Norm's company. Anyway, showing my age, right? And so like that was like we spent a lot of money to be in the Yellow Pages. Google comes out, the Yellow Pages, I don't, they don't even deliver them anymore. Like it is not, it's not even, it's completely obsolete. It's not even semi obsolete. It's completely obsolete. Chat GPT and AI is basically Google as Google was to the Yellow Pages. Google searches are going to be, they're not going to be around in 2 to 3 years.
yeah,
It's
people,
honestly,
yeah, I bet like our my daughter's 2.5. Like I bet when she's 10, when she's like old enough to make fun of her dad, I think she's gonna make fun of me when I say like, "Hey, have you searched that on Google?"
correct.
Like, what's Google? Like people
Right.
will know what Google is. Google's going to be around, but I think Google search, it's AI is affecting everything. But like if we just look at one area, search, how we find answers to questions, I think that it's going to have a huge effect. And I don't think, using your analogy of the Yellow Pages, I don't think there's any companies, if you went back and you had the companies that said, "Hey, I'm going to go build a website and figure out this whole Google search thing." I bet there's not a single company that was like, "Man, I regret doing that." And I think we're in a similar position now where it's like, lean really hard into this. Um, I call it the AI gold rush advantage. It's that same it's like abundant mindset, go out and figure this out, and you will not regret, going down
Yeah.
that
Like
path.
I don't think you guys that are on here realize how important this is. Like at VPM, we are trying to figure out ways how we get searched and sorted and found on ChatGPT and all the AI stuff. Like that is our main focus right now. If we can beat our competitors there, we are going to get a way more leads and generate more business. It's the same thing. You guys, this is like super early on. And not just that you get to be seen, like propertymanager.com is going to show up on anything that's property management related, but you're going to also be found on AI searches, and you're going to have a third party scoring system. So it's not just you saying, "Here, I did this," right? And it's a little bit, it's obviously much more refined than just a bunch of 4.8 Google reviews. So
That's
uh,
exactly right. Yeah. I
yeah.
mean, I challenge you to go on ChatGPT right now and say, what is propertymanagement.com, and see if True Match is referenced, because, the large language models are already picking up on our new business model. They value True Match. They're talking about it as a, third party, objective, performance backed tool. And so when we first launched, the first 3 or 4 weeks, when you ChatGPT propertymanagement.com, it talked about it kind of in the old model. And so, yeah, it's going to see. I think we're very, very early, but we're going to see some really compounding, exciting results coming up.
I'm actually trying to share my screen here for everybody. So, Matt, thank you so much for presenting, being here. You guys can hit that barcode if you want to meet with Matt. Um, I
And
believe that's your meeting link.
and then also, yeah, so I've got an easier option for people too. So, um, I've got a form that I can chat in here. Sorry, it's so long. I should have put it in a little short link. But if you fill this form out, that'll put you into the free verification queue. Which honestly, we're a little bit backed up right now. There's been a lot of interest, but if you get into that queue, we'll start that process, get you that onboarding form, and that's the easiest way to get things kicked off. If you do want to meet with me and go into more detail, happy to do that. And you can go to propertymanagement.com, get verified to do that step if you'd like.
Yep. And next month we have actually my insurance guy, Alex Areza, will be here to talk about how to protect yourself from data breaches, scammers, and fraudsters. So we'll talk a lot about cyber liability It's a lot. It's an insurance that not a lot of us have, but we do have sensitive data. We do have team members that can get scammed and give away sensitive data. There's lots of liability that we have. So hit this button here, this little QR code, and schedule for Tuesday, October 14th, and we'll see you there. I think that's all I got. Matt, thank you so much. Sherry basically said that just went into her budget by year end or by beginning of 2026. And Matt Greaves is asking, where is the form? Let's see. I am going to host a panelist.
I
Let me
think
get it
I
to
chatted
everyone.
it in. It's that
You
long
did, you
docs
did it to the
form.
host and panelists. So I just did it to everyone. Matt, just make sure that you got Matthew. Make sure you got that, please. Give me a thumbs up or no, you got it. If you see that, there's the form. And if anybody has any other questions, feel free. We'll stick around for another minute or two. All right, they got Pauline said they got it.
Awesome.
So yeah, I want to thank everybody for showing up. Appreciate it. Matt, thanks for being here and giving us that information and for coming up with a great product and a great I think this is an incredible idea. I'm a big fan of what's going on here, what you're trying to accomplish. And yeah, I really looking forward to see what the future brings for you and the team over at propertymanagement.com. So thanks again, everybody. We'll see you. Thanks again, Matt.
Awesome. Thanks, Pete. Thanks, everyone.